Greetings and salutations and welcome to Illegitimate Legends, the show where I like to talk about some of the more unusual League of Legends builds like the Godhand. That's right, this is an AD/crit chance Blitzcrank, because what more do you need when you've got an ability that doubles your total AD? I mean, it's not the most damaging thing on the market, but it is the Godhand, and it's got a knock-up, so you can follow up with a crit for that good pull-in, knock-up, whack-down combo. Seriously, it's a 3-shot kill on anyone who doesn't have armor, or basically, that exists, that isn't a tank. So it's the Godhand, and I roll it in the jungle because nowhere else works if you're doing a total gambit build. And make no mistake, this is a total gambit build. After all, you're Blitzcrank with no resistance items whatsoever, because you need all the AD you can get. Really, you might get one item to help keep you alive, depending on the circumstance. But if you're in a situation in which you need an item to keep you alive, you're probably already done. Like, it's probably already over, because you've fallen behind, and at that point you lose. Welcome to Gambit champions, you know, like your old Master Yi in the jungle, or, you know, your Trundle lady carry jungle, just roll in, wreck face until the game ends. Gambits. I'm quite fond of gambits, but they're shit. I won 1 game out of 4 with this build. I still enjoy it tremendously, and I think I could go some more games as it, but it's not a winning strategy. So what do? You go into jungle with your jungle item, that Hunter's Machete, because stabbing jungle monsters is fun. And you probably want to start red side, start with the Crags and move up to red buff, and then from there, I don't really know. The reason you do this is mostly because you can get the smite on red buff for the heal. I did try starting from both red and blue, starting with the big old frog and the Crags, like, depending on where I was. But turns out if you start at blue buff side, you can't kill wolves. You get killed, well, you might be able to kill wolves based on, like, if you crit based on runes or masteries or whatever, but it's not great. I took a whole bunch of crit chance stuff. I took my rune pages and masteries, which is all like 33% critical damage in there, because I wanted to get those big hits in. So if you did happen to crit with your like 2% crit chance from masteries, then sure, that'll help out a bunch. But the odds of that happening are low, 2% per swing. Or 1%. I don't actually know if there's crit chance in masteries. It's been a while since I've looked. Either way, don't start blue buff side. Not being able to kill wolves, like not being able to go anywhere after killing blue buff, isn't great. Now yes, if you get red buff, you can't get much more, but you can get to wolves. You can go through the raptors to wolves and murder all of them, and the wolves won't quite kill you. That's not exactly really selling it, is it? Your mana shield will pop, but you should survive. Should. I make no claims. Like, I accept no complaints if you die to wolves. I nearly did. So Jungle Blitzcrank isn't exactly the strongest thing ever. As for building him ability-wise, you definitely want to be getting your knock-up first, because A, it's core of your build, and B, it's the ability you have that's got the shortest cooldown and the most function in the jungle. But everything after that should probably go to Overdrive. Overdrive's great because it gives massive move speed buff, and more importantly, that attack speed to seriously counteract the fact that you're not building any attack speed. Item-wise, think something along these lines. You want to be finishing your jungle item to whichever smite that you prefer, and of course getting the bonus damage, because that's nice and it's not too expensive to finish that item off. Helps with your clear. I then immediately, unless I'm Ruffle Stomping, if I'm Ruffle Stomping I go for Sword of the Occult, but if not, immediately go for Infinity Edge, because crit chance and critical damage, you're still in the situation where a crit is rare-ish, and so getting it to sync up, because you really want crits on your knock-up punch, getting those two to sync up is not common. But the extra damage on the crits that you do get will again help you with clear times, help your DPS tremendously. It's quite potent. And then from that point on, there's really a number of items you can get. Static Shiv is very nice. Yomu's Ghost Blade is also good. Consider getting the Avarice Blade and keeping one of those for a while before transforming it into something more potent later, because gold helps when you're trying to build all the damage. And definitely get a Triforce. Triforce or Trinity Force or whatever you choose to call it, tons of damage if you will allow you to deal tons of damage because it syncs up with your knockout punch. Buckets of damage, entire buckets of damage. Like I said, 3 hit combos, pull in, knock up, smack down with that crit animation for the just looks like you're wrecking their shit. Highly satisfying. What it won't do is work if you take any damage whatsoever. You just simply die. So it works against people who don't realize what you're doing and don't target you. And it doesn't work against Anivias who are fed as flip. Personal experience, I'm still a little traumatized. Beyond that, it lacks in complexity because really all you want to do is to roll into lane, gank, try and go for the overdrive in knockup before pulling them, because pull is a great initiate, but it's much better if you've started the fight and then you pull them back in when they try and leave. Much more effective to do that than it is to pull them and then go for the fight, because then you've got no follow-up. If they get away, they get away, and it's entirely dependent on whomever's lane you're jungling to help you. When it comes to team fights, continue doing the same thing. Pick people, knock them up, 3-shot combo them, wait for all the cooldowns. Or just go ham. Go absolutely ham if you're winning, because they will be so scared and your attack speed will be so high and your damage so insane that they will lose their shit. Literally, you'll pull it out of them, painfully. So that is the whole idea of the Godhand. It's a robot killing machine that can kill without remorse. Yep, that's all there is to say. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Good night.